Welcome to The Deciding Point, our Cracked Racquets weekly breakdown of the biggest storylines going on throughout the tennis world. We're going to focus on the professional action this week. We had 4 fantastic tournaments delivering us some very fun results. With that in mind, here was one of our biggest storylines from the past week of pro tennis. Let's talk about the ATP event that happened in Rotterdam. And folks, another ATP 500 level event in the books, another title for Andrey Rublev, who wins his 4th straight event at this level as he knocks off Martin Fucsovics in straight sets. Stefanos Tsitsipas, a straight set semifinal victory for Rublev as well to earn the victory. Now, with this win, I mentioned the 4 straight titles. Rublev matches Roger Federer and Andy Murray for tied the second longest streak at this level. They all trail a different Roger Federer streak. He won 5 straight events between the 2014-2015 seasons. You also look in terms of individual wins. Andrey Rublev, 20 straight ATP 500 level victories. That trails only the streaks of Andy Murray at 21 matches and Roger Federer at 28 matches in terms of the longest streaks in ATP history. And I think it goes without saying at this point, but Andrey Rublev's forehand, if it's not the best on tour, it's in the top 5 in his ability to control the point the moment he gets a clean look at a forehand, his ability to continue to improve on that backhand wing to where it's not just solid anymore, it's not just a placeholder, it can be a weapon when he chooses to go down the line with it. His movement gets better and better with each passing month. His volleys, he becomes more and more comfortable. No one's going to accuse him of being a natural volleyer, but I mean, his skill set, his level, his physicality. I mentioned again the win over Tsitsipas in the semifinals. Thought he had a really tricky win over Jeremy Chardy in the quarterfinals as well. Chardy was just playing big tennis, going for his shots. Rublev managed to, withstand the storm and get through that one. And then just physically, he looked so good all week long on an indoor hard court. It's going to be really tough to knock out Andrey Rublev throughout the course of his career. And, I want to give a huge shout out to Martin Fucsovics, who knocked off Coric in the semifinals, Tommy Paul in the quarterfinals. And I know those names don't jump out as well. That's a great win in an ATP semifinal and quarterfinal level event. But, I mean, you look for Fucsovics now in his last 52 weeks. He's been an absolute rock. He's 20-9. He made that round of 16 at the French Open, 3rd round at the U.S. Open last season. I think he lost that 5-set match to Tiafoe, and then the final here in Rotterdam. He's back up to number 46 in the current rankings. That's 15 off his career high of 31, but considering Fucsovics now, I think 29 years old this season, turns 30 next year. This is where you want to be when you're in the prime of your career, in the top 50, able to play whatever schedule, whatever event you want. Martin Fucsovics will have that luxury this season, and again, he played fantastic all week long. The win over Davidovich Fokina, the win over Opelka. I believe he came through qualifying and beat Rinderknecht and Herbert as well. It was a fantastic week of tennis for Martin Fucsovics, and unfortunately, he just ran into the buzzsaw that was Andrey Rublev there in the final. And again, Andrey Rublev has solidified himself as a top 10 player. I think he's now top, maybe even top, 8 sort of guy who you expect to make year-end finals. And you look for Andrey Rublev now in terms of his fellow next-gen cohort. He trails only Zverev, Medvedev, and Tsitsipas in terms of career finals made. And so it makes sense that these accolades continue to come for Andrey Rublev. He's been so fantastic, and I think the best is yet to come as well. So again, considering in this Rotterdam event there was no Djokovic, no Nadal, no Federer, we expected a next-gen guy to win. We shouldn't be surprised that Andrey Rublev ended up being that guy.